Hello everyone, my name is Karan Bhatia and welcome back to this video series where I have an HR professional with me where we are going to talk about various topics that are going to help you to get your job as well as grow in corporate life. So the topic of today is resume building and for that I have Divya Jethwani with me. First of all, I would like to thank you Divya for giving your valuable time. And
Thank you, Karan.
the the very first question which I have for you is what are some of the common mistakes that a fresher should avoid in their resume? A big no-no,
Mhm.
basically.
Correct, correct. Yeah, so there are many mistakes that I have noticed in my career. First, I would say the grammatical errors or the spelling errors, definitely, right? So this kind of errors, generally show that you are not detail oriented or you are not, professional or you are not, sincere about your career.
Mhm.
So resume is something very much important, and grammatical errors and everything is not expected from a person who is now going from his college life to corporate life. So these should
Mhm.
be avoided. Then mentioning irrelevant information, yes. So when you mention in your hobbies watching TV, so this is something very much irrelevant, like, right? So watching TV is not necessary to be mentioned. Again, if you have an for experienced person, if I say, then if you have any irrelevant experiences, for example, if you are applying for a sales position, but prior to that you had some experience in tele as in telecaller or as a cashier, so that is not required to mention. So people do mention just to increase their overall experience,
Yeah,
but that
correct.
is not required, right? And apart from that, I would say, mm,
I remember
yes,
we were talking about this. So you mentioned that people also put their picture while working on a laptop, something
yeah,
like that.
correct,
Please tell me more
correct,
about that.
correct, yeah. Yes, yes. So I've seen many freshers, they are very much enthusiastic about their preparing their resume. I don't know why, but they click their selfies and they add those selfie photos on the resume or somewhat in a stylish way, like sitting with a laptop, full photo. So that is something not required. You can just have a kind of passport size photograph in your resume, a professional one in blazer or formals. And yes, that is the only require. Otherwise, if you don't feel so, then you cannot add photos. That is also fine. But
Mhm.
people do, such things. So yeah, this is something should be avoided. And this is something which shows unprofessionalism. And also, I have one more thing to be mentioned is that people use very informal email addresses. Like I have noticed someone uses crazy kid 1250 or party lover at the rate dash 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 dot com. So these
Mhm.
are something which is not, good. I mean, that will not reflect your professionalism definitely.
Mhm.
So these kind of email IDs should be avoided. Instead, you can just keep a simple formal email ID, that is your name, your surname, and at the rate xyz.com, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Right. And apart from that, one more thing is that, providing your specific achievements is more important rather than giving, vague job duties, I would say. So I've noticed this in many of the profiles, if I say about marketing or sales profile. So they have generally mentioned a vague statement like responsible for marketing tasks. But I already know that you're responsible for marketing tasks, right? But what was the task and how are you responsible? So that is something to be mentioned very specifically. So you know, um, they should mention increase the social media sales by 50% as compared to last year, something like in a quantitative figure, right? So that would give me as an HR an idea about the candidate, that how much work he has done in this previous year when he was in that organization. So that is something very much important. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, instead of mentioning that I do sales or I'm good at sales,
Hmm.
a person can mention in that specific month I overachieved my target by this much of percentage, or
Correct. Correct.
I did extra sales by this much number,
Hmm.
or in marketing efforts or marketing campaigns I increased the engagement by this much percentage. That sort
Correct,
of
correct.
numbers, the data that should validate the performance. That thing can
Hmm.
really be helpful and can be displayed on the resume. Hmm.
Right. And apart from that, yes, some people, they generally share a too long resume. So
Mhm.
3, 4 pages of resume explaining each and every details, right? So that is also not required for entry level positions. 1 page is enough, and for experienced person, 2 to 2.5, max 3 page if they are explaining their projects in detail. So that much is enough. Yeah.
Taking
Yes.
forward to the last point which you mentioned, Divya, that a resume
Hmm.
should be of 1 page. I recently made a post on LinkedIn where I shared the template for resume from Harvard University. And I
Yes.
was surprised to see that a perfect resume can come in 1 page. There is no need
Yes,
to
definitely.
mention a lot
Hmm.
of extra details. So, writing your resume in 1 page is a good habit, and it shows that you are
Yes.
precise and you can give accurate details. Yeah, just
And
write
one
bullet
more
points.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah, and one more thing, a plain resume is also fine, and people do add, color combinations and decoratives and background effects, and I mean the watermarks and everything. So that is also not required in a resume. A good white plain resume or just a two shaded resume is fine. Two color
yeah.
with two colors, yeah.
I think all the freshers and experienced people out there will find this video and this discussion very helpful. So I think now we come to the end of the video. And before closing, I would like to mention that special thank you to you for giving your time and to my
Thank you.
audience who is watching this video. So make sure you watch complete video and make sure you follow Divya and me for upcoming great content. Thank you, Divya.
Yeah, thank you, Karan. Thank you so much.